year and puberty, which is about 8 or 9 years old. This mannequin is for a child. Okay, so the way we resuscitate an adult is the same way we resuscitate a child, but with some differences. What are the differences? Like I was using 2 hands to do chest compression on an adult. For a child, you use 1 hand, preferably use 1 hand to do chest compression on a child. Use 1 hand to do chest compression. But if you think that your 1 hand is not doing the job or cannot actually do the job, you can use 2 hands. Because not all of us have that strength. If you feel that 1 hand is not doing it, you can go ahead and use 2 hands. Defibrillation, you can also defibrillate. If you don't have a means of ventilating this child, you can do continuous chest compression until you get the child to the hospital. Continuous chest compression at the rate of 100 to 120. Okay? Now, also, when you now one difference between adult and a child too is when you now becomes 2. For an adult, it's always 30 compressions, 2 breaths. But for a child, it's 15 compressions, 2 breaths. Because we said earlier that the thing that mostly cause cardiac arrest in adults is what you call arrhythmias, ventricular fibrillation or pulseless ventricular tachycardia. But for children, it's normal. Children and infants is normally respiratory failure that leads to cardiac arrest in children. So you need more ventilations for children. So you do chest compression. If you are, like I said, if it's only you, 30 compression, you give 2 breaths. But some people will ask me, what about mount to mount? These days, we have discouraged, or American Heart Association have even discouraged people from doing mount to mount resuscitation. Okay, so if it's your child, or you can still do mount to mount resuscitation since that person is well known to you or a child. But for a patient that you don't know, for a child you don't know, we don't encourage mount to mount resuscitation. Okay, so like I said, if it's 2 of you, for a child, it's now become 15 compression, you give 2 breaths. 15 compression, you give 2 breaths. So in the circle will be 10, 15 chest compression and 2 breaths, 15 compression, 2 breaths, 10 times. For an adult, 5 times. 5 times, 30 compressions times 5, that's 150. 15 compressions times 10 is still 150. So the difference is the child needs more air. So that's one of the difference. Another difference is, in case a child goes into arrest, while you are there, you can leave that child, go and call for help, source for material, and then come and start chest compression. Please, like I said earlier, when you start chest compression, do not minimize your interruptions. Minimize your interruptions. Okay? Another thing is, if you run in on a child who has cardiac arrest and then you don't know when this child has a cardiac arrest, you do 5 chest compression, 5 sets of chest compression, 32 breaths, 32 breaths, 5 times before you can leave that child to go and source for help. So that is the difference between child and adult. So also defibrillation. To defibrillate a child, you place one of the parts in the front, the other one you place in the back. So there are parts for children. If you don't have the parts for children, you can use the one for adults. But you cannot use a child part for an adult. You can use adult part for a child. So for adult, why do we not put both parts in the front? Because most of the time the children's chest frontal area, they are not that big yet that can be able to take both parts. So you don't want them to overlap each other. So that's why you put one in the front, the other one in the back, and then you can still go ahead and defibrillate the children. So that's how you do a child resuscitation. There is not much difference. The depth is still 2 inches, and every 2 minutes you stop and check to see if the condition has improved or if the condition is still remaining the same.